Hello everyone, I'm James Marshall and I'm the head coach and owner of Excelsior Athletic Training. Welcome to our presentation about how we can actually help your sports team improve. And it's based on a case study of work I've been doing with the National Youth Centre in Kaiserslautern in Germany. Now, the gap between a good coaching idea and a real coaching change, which is what we're interested, is conversation. So in the trenches of high performance sport, we're often chasing the next tactical innovation or data point, but we overlook the absolute anchor of growth. If coaches keep developing, then your athletes develop. So most continuing professional development programs are built on input. We're gathering new information. What's the latest idea? You might be found this YouTube channel from doing that. But the reality of high performance is that the differentiator isn't the quality of the lecture. It's what happens after the expert leaves the room. It's the shift from a concept of learning to a collective habit of discussion and reflection. So that's what we're going to look at now. So the gap between a good coaching idea and a real change of practice is one of conversation. And I've been using this with badminton coaches, like I said, in Kaiserslautern. And the bridge between a high level theory and the badminton court is usually missing. And without it, your best ideas just die on the whiteboard. They might write some stuff down, but they haven't got it. Most coaching breakthroughs fail to manifest in daily training because of three specific barriers. Okay, and I'll talk about those now. So, what I talked about with the badminton, we talked about the plyometric drills for changing their or improving their badminton players' agility. So we use concepts like Jim Radcliffe's Super Ball versus Rotten Tomato, and his analogy for plyometric reactivity, or the engine for without wheels framework for work capacity, and the structural integrity we work in. These are really good ideas, but unless we translate them figuratively and literally, in the case of speaking with German coaches, they remain abstract theories rather than actual points that can help the badminton players improve and then win points. So the badminton coaches, they've got a big operation over there. They manage up to 100 athletes weekly. They can coach people from almost beginner to those who are competing at European championships. They went over to Japan for a training camp. So there's a big level of ability there. And through our long-term collaboration of monthly sessions, they haven't looked for more drills. So that's the thing. It's like, what's the next drill? Instead, they focused on simplifying the movement and mastering the underlying fundamentals. Christian Stern, he's the head badminton coach there. He notes that this approach cuts through complexity. There's no point over complexifying things for the coaches and the players. And by focusing on the essentials rather than adding more noise, they've transformed how they coach and communicate across every level of their program. The engine behind this improvement is the post-session bridge. This is the critical team conversation that turns reflection into a daily practice. It's a deliberate three-stage loop that ensures ideas don't just land, not just coming up, but they stick. So here's the three-stage. Starts with the input, yeah, and modestly, I try my best to help them give them good stuff, but they also get it from elsewhere as well. The external spark or the new concept that promotes the discussion. But that's okay. But the magic happens in step two, the internal huddle when I leave the room, figuratively, because it's or the Zoom session ends, and they start talking. They sometimes talk. I do a 45-minute presentation with discussion, and they're sometimes in the room for an hour and a half afterwards, discussing and bouncing ideas about how they could do it. That's the feedback loop. The team then tests the ideas on the court. Then they meet again to reflect on what actually worked. This double reflection creates a level of staff awareness and consistency that you simply can't get from a manual. So I have in all the books in the world, but unless it transforms into your coaching practice and then into the improvement of the players, there's no point. So coaching improvement isn't always about adding, it's about understanding, and especially the essentials. Take the random patterns and high mechanical loading of badminton. It's a complex sport. And through the reflection bridge that we've worked on, the Kaiserslautern coaches took the Super Bowl analogy and translated it into a specific lunge drill that they could use, what worked for their players. They didn't just talk about reactivity. They focused on the minimal ground contact time and ankles locked and loaded, good cues that they could use and they all shared and they worked with. They took a complex biomechanical concept, people do PhDs on this stuff, and made it easy to understand and, more importantly, easy to apply under the pressure of a match. So, what do we take away from this? The coaching teams that truly evolve are not necessarily the ones with the most resources, the most cash, the most experts coming in, most members of staff. The teams that improve are the ones that talk to each other after the session. They're the teams that build the bridge from theory to the daily workouts. So my takeaway for you is this: never lose sight of the core mission. If your coaches keep developing, then your athletes keep developing. And a final takeaway, thanks for watching, is look at your own program today. What does your post-session bridge look like? If you haven't had that conversation yet with your other coaches, it's time to start. Thanks for watching. And if you have any thoughts on this, please like or comment below. And if you ever want me to come in and help with your coaching teams, then I'm happy to do so. Thank you and good luck with your coaching.